Namaste and good morning, everyone. Let's start our Wednesday class where we are going to go through few pranayams, how to practice and what are the benefits and who should not do certain pranayams also. Okay. So let's do the prayers first. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhurbhavasvaha Tatsavitravarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Asto Ma Sadgamya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya Mrityurma Amritam Gamya Om Sahnavavatu Sahnavunatu Saviryam Karvavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are all familiar with the benefits of Hatha Yoga. Because Hatha Yoga really deals with the health, strength, and the conquest of the body. But when we combine the physical postures with the pranayama also, pranayama really lifts the veil of difference between the body and the mind. We really feel unalloyed purity and peace after we do pranayama. That's why pranayama is considered the soul of yoga. So physical exercises, people do it many different ways. But when we stretch and relax and move the body, and we call them asanas, we couple it with pranayama also. So that's why it's commonly said that pranayama is the connecting link between the body and the soul of a person, actually. This is the hub in the wheel of yoga. Yogis tell us that the mind and the body are interconnected by this complex and vibrant system of inner energy, which is sustained by the ebb and flow of the breath. So this energy, breath, and life, they are completely linked together. And the practices that make us conscious of this system constitute a science which is called pranayama. Vast and intriguing branch of yoga, where the innate vital energy is brought to awareness gradually. We regulate it, and through pranayama, that's why our concentration increases too. First, look at the word pranayama. Pran means the life force, vital energy. That's what pran is. And yam is to regulate or to control. Pranayama. Or another way you can break this compound word, pran plus ayam. Ayam means bringing. So pranayama is the yogic science of balancing and regulating vital energy through the skillful manipulation of breath. Because breath is the one which is the carrier of the pran. So there are techniques. That's why I said we got to manipulate. We got to learn how to do it. So it's a conscious prolongation of inhalation, retention, and exhalation. These are the things which we do in pranayama. We inhale, we hold, and we exhale. If you want a steady mind, if you want a strong willpower, if you are interested in sound judgment, pranayama is the key. Heart of yoga. Asanas without pranayama are lifeless. So that's why it's very, very important aspect of yogic practice. We have learned in the Upanishads also how important the prans are with the help of the ancient story. In the Chandogya Upanishad, in Taittiriya Upanishad also, there was a heated dispute among the eyes, ears, mind, vital breath, that which one of them are indispensable for human life. We saw that to resolve the issue, each function agrees to vacate the body for some time, leaving the others to manage without it. And after they all returned, one after the other, the function with the greatest importance was determined. Eyes left, body was fine. Ears left, mind also departed. So through blindness, through loss of hearing, and nearly coma-like existence, life managed to continue. But as soon as the vital breath began to leave, suddenly the remaining functions find themselves uprooted. As if a strong horse anchored to the ground were pulling up the stakes that held it. So all of them right away humbly accepted the pran's preeminent role in sustaining the life. But despite its profound importance for the most part, breathing is a background to other activities. We pay attention to the breathing only when something wrong happens. Whenever there's a noxious smell, whenever we see that something is entering the windpipe by mistake, or a thick cloud of dust, only then we pay momentary attention to it. As soon as the problems are resolved, the breath recedes into the background once again, and we are not aware of it. But remember, the low energy levels, shortness of breath, anxiety, stress, poor concentration are some of the resulting symptoms of poor breathing habits. Normal tempo of breath is slow. On average, the heart beats 70 times in a minute, while we breathe just 16 times. But these 16 breaths mean that the lungs expand and contract over 20,000 times per day. We consume about 35 pounds of air, 6 times the weight of our daily intake of food and liquids. So the rate of breathing varies throughout the day. After vigorous exercise, it may increase to well over 30 breaths per minute. But during meditation, it may slow to as little as 5 or fewer. Or when a person is in samadhi, we hardly feel the breath. During pranayama practices, this breath is used to cleanse, calm, and strengthen the nervous system. That's why yogis, they often talk about nervous system. Strong nervous system is the sign of a healthy body, nervous system. That's how we increase our vitality. And the breath is also a key focal point in relaxation exercises as well as meditation. So relaxation, meditation techniques, they all use breath because relaxed breathing calms the nervous system. Relaxed breathing is used for a lot of ailments also. Whether it's a migraine, hypertension, even asthma, anxiety, panic attacks, we got to learn how to breathe properly. 5 basic qualities of a good breathing. Good breathing, healthy breathing should be deep, smooth, even, without sound, without pause. So I'm not talking about when we do the exercise, when we're doing the pranayama. The rest of the day, that's how the breath should be. When breath flows in, it carries energy along with it. It's a revitalizing the body and mind. When the breath flows out, it gathers the waste that the blood has brought to the lungs and it bears them out. So the inhalation is invigorating and the exhalation requires little effort and it's relaxing. So each exhalation feels relaxing, each inhalation feels nourishing. In Sanskrit, the nasal area is called Sapt Path. So that means there are 7 paths which go through it. So it is the confluence of 7 openings. So 2 nostrils, 2 tear ducts, 2 eustachian tubes, the pharynx, the upper throat, 7 of them. And the primary muscle of breathing is the diaphragm. This is the dome-shaped muscle lying below the lungs. Diaphragm contracts, inhalation takes place. Diaphragm relaxes, exhalation takes place. So in the beginning, we should pay attention to this too. What is really happening inside me? So to a yogi, there are 2 main functions of proper breathing. To bring more oxygen to the blood and thus to brain, and to control prana or vital energy, leading to control of the mind. That's why it is so important. A full yogic breath combines the shallow breathing also, the middle breathing also, and the deep breathing also. We are fully aware of it. We got to learn where to control, where to hold, how long to hold and how to exhale. Full control. We got to be the master of this breath of ours. So breathing correctly means breathing through the nose, first of all. Keeping the mouth closed. And full inhalation and full exhalation. When you exhale, the abdomen contracts. Diaphragm moves up. You feel that it's massaging the heart. And when you inhale, the abdomen expands. The diaphragm moves down, massaging the abdominal organs. All that is happening actually automatically, but if we pay little attention to it, we can do it little better and get more benefit. So 3 parts of each breath. Inhalation, in Sanskrit, it's called purak. Retention, which is called kumbhak. And exhalation is called rechak. People often think that inhalation as the most essential stage of breathing. Inhalation. But in fact, it is the exhalation that holds the key. Because more stale air you exhale, the more fresh air you can inhale. So we got to get rid of that foul air, which we do during exhalation. And why breathe from the nose? Because when you inhale through your nose, the air is warmed and filtered. So that is one reason. But from the yogic point of view, the overriding reason for breathing nasally is prana. So you must inhale nasally to maximize the amount of prana taken in. Because the back of the nose lie the olfactory organs through which prana passes to reach the central nervous system and brain. So prana. So the yogic breathing exercises teach us how to control prana and to control the mind. Two are very interdependent. We know when we are angry or scared, our breathing becomes shallow and irregular. Conversely, when we are relaxed or deep in thought, our breathing becomes slow. You can easily test this. Listen for a moment to the lowest sound in the room when you're alone. You will find that in concentrating, you unconsciously slowed down and even suspended your breathing. This happens automatically. So by controlling your breath, you can learn to control your state of mind. By regulating your breathing, you are not only increasing your intake of oxygen and prana, but preparing yourself for the practice of concentration and meditation. So they are all interlinked. When we are doing the asanas also, if we just pay a little attention in certain asanas, how we are breathing, we are getting a lot more benefit. So let's look at some of the pranayams which we normally do in our classes. See if we are doing it correctly or not. But first thing, always remember 2 essential things for pranayama. A stable spine, which is called achal. So if our spine, our bodies keep on moving and we are doing pranayama, that's not good. It has to be stable. And second is stillness of the mind. called achal and sthir. And because practice of pranayama should not be mechanical, so the mind has to be connected. And another thing I want you to remember, that eyes play a predominant role in the practice of asana. Eyes. Outer eyes also, the inner eyes also. That's why during asana exercise, the practice, what do? We always concentrate with the inner eyes at certain points in our body. So the eyes play a predominant role in the practice of asana, and the ears play a predominant role during pranayama. So that means you got to concentrate on the sound of breathing. So that means listen to the rhythm of your breathing. Breathing in or out must be neither forcible nor quick, because otherwise you will put a strain on your heart, or you can even damage your nervous system. So you got to do, especially initially when you just learn, do it slowly and see the effect of it. So we got to stay alert, fully alert. Your brain also, your mind also. The position of the body should be adjusted properly. And the flow of the breath, just watch it moment to moment, what is happening. And when you are doing the kumbhak, make sure that if you don't have a high blood pressure, you can do kumbhak longer, otherwise shorter kumbhak. Kumbhak is when you're holding the breath. Kumbhak keeps the sadhak, the practitioner, silent at the physical, mental, and the yogic tests even say that the moral and the spiritual levels also. This kumbhak is very important. Kumbhak has to be done with a very relaxed mind, so that there's no strain put on our brain. And kumbhaks are performed in two different ways. Sahit kumbhak and keval kumbhak. Sahit kumbhak is when you hold the breath intentionally, deliberately. And this could be antra or bahe. So that means outer or inner. Sahit kumbhak. Keval kumbhak is instinctive and intuitive. So again, antar kumbhak is the holding of the breath inside, and you are having the kumbhak. Bahya kumbhak is where you just surrender. You have exhaled and you are just holding into the position for a little longer. So do not retain the breath by force of will. So don't do kumbhak like that. No tension in the brain, no tension in the eyes. If you see your eyes are getting red, heavy, irritable, you got to watch for these warning signs. That's why pranayama should be done in the presence of experienced teacher. But most of you are doing pranayams for some time, so we are going to just practice a little bit over here, and I want you to, when you do it on your own also, just watch these warning signs, please. Do not practice when you are hungry, thirsty, or tired. Do not practice when you're too full, when you're irritated. And pranayama should be practiced while sitting down. That is an absolute necessity in the pranayama practice. If you can sit on the floor, better, but sit on the chair. Don't do pranayams standing. Do not practice in a noisy or a dirty space. And it's better to do fewer repetitions with an equal vigor than a greater amount in which the breath peters out. And one mistake some students make when beginning the practice is breathing paradoxically. That means pushing the abdomen out during exhalation and contracting the abdomen with the inhalation. That's a paradoxic breathing. If you feel worn out, spacey after pranayama, that means you're overdoing it. Slow down. Increase your capacity slowly. One very basic pranayama which we do is called Nadi Shodhan pranayama. It's called Nadi Shodhan also, Nadi Shuddhi also. Shuddhi or Shodhan means purification, cleaning. Nadi means the nerve channels. We all know there are countless nerve channels in our body, throughout the body. Sure, three main ones alongside the spine, Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, but the entire body has it's almost like a net of nadis everywhere. So these are like a tubular channels where the pran goes through. So it's like energy is being carried in those tubes. So we need to keep it clean. See, just like our pipes, where the water is flowing, if it's not clean, we know what happens. So these nadis got to be cleansed. And pranayam, this nadi shuddhi pranayam, helps us do that. So purification of the nervous system, you can call it. We do one side at a time. We close our right nostril with the thumb and we inhale quickly from the left side. Then we close both the sides, one side with the thumb, the other side with the pinky and the ring finger. Hold that breath in. And then after a while, after doing the kumbha, we exhale from the thumb side. So from one side, we inhale, we hold the breath, and we exhale from the opposite side. And then we repeat it again from the other side. So then second time around, we inhale from the right, hold the breath in, and at that time we got to see that is my stomach out? Is my chest feeling the expansion? Is my attention inward? And then let go from the opposite side. Then you can repeat it again. Okay? It's like a inhale from one side, hold, exhale from the opposite side. And there's a proper ratio to it. Ratio is 1, 4, and 2 between the inhalation, holding, and exhalation. Okay, this is called a very basic Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Blood receives a larger supply of oxygen. The nerves are calmed, purified. The mind becomes still and lucid. We start to think right. Our body functions better. And the practitioners have found that the various disparities in the structures of the brain or even lungs or other parts of the body, there's some improvement in there. So with this proper breathing helps our mind and helps our body also. This is Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Anybody can do it because we are doing it from both sides. But as long as you don't overdo in the beginning with the holding the kumbhak, you'll see that energy reaches the remotest parts of the body and the brain. There's a more peace, poise, and harmony. That's why this basic pranayam, we do it in every class. Start out with the 6 holdings. And instead of increasing the number of holdings, increase the duration of holding according to your own capacity though. Again, watch what's happening when you're holding. First, start doing it with the inner kumbhak, then try to do with the outer kumbhak also. So that means after exhale, you are just holding it there without letting it go or inhaling the second time. Okay. The second pranayam which we do is Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam. In this pranayam, you inhale from the right nostril, hold the breath, make it a chin lock, Jalandhar Bandh, and exhale from the left. Concentrate in the navel area. You will see that if you do it for a little longer period of time, you will start sweating in this pranayam because body will produce heat. So the second time around, you do the same thing. Inhale from right, hold, and exhale from left. So you continuously doing only from one side. So inhale from right, exhale from left, and in between you do a little kumbhak. It helps in cold, cough, phlegm, etc. If your extremities, they just feel cold, just practice this pranayam. You will see that. So Surya Bhed, Surya means sun, Bhed means piercing, passing through. So this increases heat in the body. Your digestive system becomes better. It soothes and invigorates the nerves and cleanses the sinuses. But remember that if you're high blood pressure, just do not do kumbhak for too long. Okay, so that's the precaution you have to take. But if you do have a high blood pressure, you can always do the opposite of it. That will help your blood pressure. Chandra Bhed Kumbhak. Inhalation from the left and exhalation from the right. And repeat it like that. It cools down the system. And when you do Chandra Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam, you don't concentrate in the navel area, you concentrate in the forehead area, in the skull area. Okay, so Surya Bhed Kumbhak and Chandra Bhed Kumbhak pranayams. Then there's another pranayam which is called Ujjayi Pranayam. This pranayam for the sore throat, chronic cold, bronchitis, asthma, also relieves the anxiety, calms the nervous system. Even for the singers, they use this because their voice becomes sweet and melodious. So let's look at how do we do it, Ujjayi Pranayam. So first you inhale from both the nostrils. So fully inhale, then bring that breath upward. See, Ujjayi, that word is like a wood, upward movement. Feel that upward movement of your breath. Try to hold it right in this area, in the neck area. And when you take that breath out, make a little soft whispering sound. It's almost like the people call it a ocean breath, how the ocean waves are. Or you can see that how the sound of the wind through the trees comes out. So that's the kind of a sound you create. So how do you create that? Because there's a little constriction at the throat by partially closing your larynx muscles. So you breathe in, hold, hold it here, not in the chest area, up area, because you move it up. And then when you exhale, okay, and what is the ratio? Equal ratio. So when you inhale, inhale mindfully. When you're inhaling, there's almost no sound. But when you're exhaling, there is a sound. Lungs are fully expanded with the chest thrusts out like a mighty conqueror. That's how you feel. That's why it's called a Ujjayi Pranayam. And when you do the Jalandhar Bandh also, you're just trying to constrain it over there. That movement of the energy inside. So a lot of ailments in the throat area, they just get resolved with your own prana. How many times you should do it? I would say start doing at least 5 times and then gradually increase it. Another pranayam in our yogic scriptures, they say Shitali pranayam. Shitali and the Shitkari. So this is the only pranayam where you inhale from the mouth, but exhale from the nose though. Okay? So inhale through the mouth, whether you can, if you can roll your tongue, that's better. Like this. Then hold that breath in, then breathe out from the nose. So inhalation from the mouth, exhalation from the nose. So Shitali is when you can roll your tongue, and a lot of people cannot roll their tongue. So then do the Sitkari. So put your teeth together, tongue right behind your teeth, and think that you are drinking the air in through the mouth. Close your mouth, hold the breath in, then breathe out. Okay, always make sure, even when you're exhaling, do not bring your head down. Because I see that sometimes the students just they think that they need to bring their head down to exhale. No, keep your head up still. And feel that expansion when you are inhaling, Even when you're inhaling from the mouth, feel the expansion in your lungs, in your abdomen. Hold it there. Okay. Since this is a cooling, this is Shitli and Sitkari, we are bringing the coolness in our body. Concentration in the forehead area is important. Okay, you're not warming up, you're cooling. These pranayams, they good for the liver problems, for the spleen, they improve the digestive system, and even relieving of the thirst. So this coolness really soothes the eyes and the ears also. Sometimes some people, they just say that their eyes feel very warm. Or some people just keep a very low level of a fever. So these pranayams help in that case also. People who have a low level of fever, some reason. Okay. Another pranayam which we do is called a Bhasrika pranayam. Bhasrika means the bellows. Air is forcibly drawn in and out as if using a pair of bellows. In this kind of a pranayama, inhalation sets the pace and the pattern and the rhythm for the exhalation. So in other words, we got to have inhalation and exhalation in a rhythm. Okay. But it starts with the exhalation though. So both out and in breaths are vigorous and forceful in Bhasrika. The nostrils are kept open throughout in Bhasrika. There's no kumbhak there. We don't hold the breath. We just keep on doing very actively inhalation and exhalation. So it's like you can do it from one side at a time if you want to, or both sides. Okay, so that is called Bhasrika. Bhasrika activates the invigoration of the liver, spleen, pancreas, abdominal muscles, improves the digestion, drains the sinuses, create a feeling of that you are full of energy. Anytime you feel like little lethargic, you don't want to get up, do a few puffs of Bhasrika. So you can do it slow if you have a high blood pressure problem. You can go slowly also. But otherwise, just do it a little briskly. But do not do it if your eye or ears, they have some problem, like a pus in the ear or a detached retina. Please don't do it because a lot of pressure is put into the eyes and the ears. If there's an ache in the ear also, don't do it. To first get it checked out. Okay? So, because there's a lot happening inside your body when you're doing pranayams. There's another pranayama, and after that we will stop. And then if you have any questions, we can talk about that. Brahmari Kumbhak pranayama. Brahmar means a large black bumblebee. That's why this pranayam is called Brahmari pranayam. Because during exhalation, a soft humming sound is created, just like a bumblebee. Best time to perform this pranayam when there's a complete silence. Yogis, they say that do it at night. Before sleeping, you can do this pranayam. Deep inhalation deep exhalation, and while doing the exhalation, there is a humming sound created. For the beginners, it's better to, with your hands, close your ears like a thumbs, the ears, this index finger on the top of the eyelids, and then the middle finger also below the eyelids, the ring finger closing the nose, and the pinkies, they are on your lips. So it's just like you are suggesting all your senses to go inward. That's all you're doing. But if your senses are listening to you without even your fingers, just close your eyes and do this pranayama. But sometimes it's good to do the nose, it's good to do because you are making a sound while you're exhaling. So humming sound induces sleep. That's why it's good before sleeping. People suffering from insomnia, they will get the benefit from it. This is good for the people who have high blood pressure, hypertension, even short temper also. Okay, it will just calms them down. So humming sound during exhalation. And what is a humming sound? You all know how the bumblebee goes. Okay, so that's the sound you make during exhalation. When you do that, there's a little vibration inside your throat. So do that. And it can be done several times. Start with the 5, 6 times and then keep on increasing. So the full importance of these pranayams, you will feel only when you practice it. So these pranayams, aside from maintaining basic life functions, like our body, because we know that how important the oxygen is, or the prans are. But if you do practice it more and more, you will see the transformation in yourself also with these pranayams. So not only at the bodily level, the toxins will be burning up, but you will see that you will be releasing some of the stored emotions. You will feel relaxed. That's why Rishi Patanjali said the veil of ignorance can be removed through the pranayama. And at the bodily level, we know that food we eat, it takes hours or days to digest. But how quickly the air gets distributed in the body. Through the air, the pran then. Each inhalation of air immediately enters the bloodstream. We don't have to wait 4 or 5 hours. Immediately. We all know without breath, we cannot speak. Air is the force behind our voice. Our brain cannot think. We cannot even metabolize our food without oxygen. Let me tell you, breathing is a grossly underestimated source of life-giving, healing, and purifying energy. Yogis understood it thousands of years ago. But we have not paid much attention to this part. Only when we get sick, then we do. Unfortunately, the average person does not breathe very deeply. We don't pay much attention. And breath is one of the few things in the body that comes under both voluntary and involuntary control. Involuntarily, the breath contracts when we are afraid. Only then we are familiar with it. But as a yoga abhyasi, if you do pranayam every day, you can see that how we will enrich our life. Little ailments here and there, we can correct them. Sure, there are medicines, there are doctors, we can go there. But first to try these techniques where there's hardly any side effects, only the benefits. So this was just a, I would say, introduction to these pranayams. If you're already practicing, please keep on practicing. Share it with others also. And check it out. If any day you have a headache, breathe from the left. That means close your right side. Breathe from the left. And again, breathe out from the left also. Just keep your right closed. Breathe from the left for 5 minutes. And if you feel tired, breathe from the right. Close your left for 5 minutes. Try it. See if it works or not. And come back and tell us if it worked. Or even if it didn't work, let us know. That's how we gather the data. Okay? So let's stop it here. And if you have any questions, we can talk about. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.